Did you know the world's fourth largest metro system was built entirely within my lifetime? This is China's Chengdu Metro, and with over 400 stations and over 700 kilometers of track, it's crazy to think that construction of this massive system didn't even begin until December of 2005. A whole 9 days after I was born, meaning that this entire 700-kilometer system is younger than me. For comparison, New York City, the economic capital of the world, hasn't even built 5 miles of subway in this time. And not only is it new, it's modern, with driverless trains, platform screen doors, and being able to pay with your face, which is so cool. I have not seen that anywhere else in the world, and I have ridden a lot of metros. The trains also have screens telling you what car you're in and where the exits will be at the next station. Like, I'm truly envious at what we could have in the States if we had a competent government. And what's even crazier is that Chengdu isn't alone. The Chinese government has built 44 metro systems in 44 other cities since 1990. But because the whole system is so new and uniform, it is kind of boring to train spot, so that kind of sucks. But is it better than the CTA? Hell freaking yes.
Why China still loves the 5-year plan? Obviously, because it works. China is neither capitalism nor socialism. It's pragmatism. Whatever works. The 5-year plan turned out to be working. From 1980 to 2020, about 40 years, that's 8 5-year plan. China left 800 million people out of poverty. 8 plan to make 800 million people out of poverty. That plan works. Of course, we know that in each plan, a lot of policy goes to it, like building infrastructure, like industrialization, and providing health care, expanding the health care, all those policies. Some are more capitalism than socialism, some are more socialism than capitalism, but who cares? Whatever works, it's pragmatism.
I told my dad I was going to China, and he told me that none of it's real. Everything you see is just propaganda. Well, I'm here right now, and it is very much real. Western media will just tell you everything you see about China is propaganda because they don't want to admit how far we've fallen. But when China can build an entire 260-station metro system in less time than it takes New York City to even study if they want to build the critically important IBX, it becomes abundantly clear why American media and politicians love to demonize China. Because if China, with a significantly lower GDP per capita than the US, was able to do all of this, then why can't we do it in the States too? While China is building the world's largest high-speed rail network, the US is canceling an urgently needed tunnel under the Hudson. While China's poverty rate has fallen 88% since the late 1980s, the US has only fallen 2%. And while China no doubt still has problems, at least the government is actively working on making people's lives better. Meanwhile, the US government is actively making the average American's future as bleak as possible. It's just truly such a shame to see what America, the wealthiest country in human history, would be able to do if they invested their money back into the people, but so it goes, I guess.
Have you ever wondered why China's 5-year plans work so well, but other countries don't do the same? Here's the thing, China isn't the only country ever tried a 5-year plan. Many countries used it and got results beyond expectations. South Korea in the 1960s copied the idea and caught up fast in industry. Even Japan started planning its industrial growth the same way. Germany became an industrial powerhouse before World War I. Soviet Union reached industrial strength by 1930. But here's the catch, economies don't grow overnight. You can't just invest and instantly get a result. 5-year plans are part of a long historical process. Each plan comes with economic pains because old capital loses out during these upgrades. That's the only way the economy can level up again and again. Most countries eventually give up long-term planning. And in some countries like the US, leaders change every 4 years and the politics can just get overturned every 4 years. There's no guarantee of long-term planning. That's why 5-year plans don't really work everywhere. Today, for example, 80% of South Korea's big conglomerates trace back to those early plans. So why did they stop? Because the upgrade process is so painful and slow. The old winners didn't want to be the losers in the next wave, so they blocked economic transformation and upgrade to protect their own interests and benefits. That's one big reason why many countries miss out on major economic shifts. 5-year plans aren't one size fits all. The government guide the industry. That's China emphasize an effective market and a proactive government. Hopefully, this can help you see how China's development really works and why long-term planning can make all the differences. I'm Kelly Tang, bringing you more new perspectives from the East. Talk to you later.
High-speed rail is a money-burning monster. So, how did China pull it off? The answer comes down to 4 keywords: technology, scale, institutions, and efficiency. First, technology. Continuous technological iteration is essential. Take the latest
CR450
train set. It aims for an operational speed of 400 kilometers per hour, with drag reduced by 22%, weight cut by 10%, and lower noise. Faster, yet more energy efficient and more comfortable. Look at the hidden parts. High-speed rail runs on an overhead contact line, its lifeline. China developed its own copper alloy contact wire with 20% better conductivity and far greater durability. That means steadier high-speed power delivery, lower maintenance costs, and longer line service life. Second, scale. One line is expensive, but 100 dilutes the cost. China uses standardization and modular design track. Bridges, tunnels, stations, and transits are produced at scale. The supply chain is domestic, with many factories and fierce competition, so prices get pushed down. That's the economies of scale bonus. Third, institutions. National long-term planning from 2004 to today keeps goals moving forward from one administration to the next. Stable policy and continuous funding, plus the ability to concentrate resources to accomplish big tasks. Let a project open dozens of construction sites at once. That coordination is a major advantage. Finally, efficiency. Chinese sites follow the motto, if it can be done in parallel, don't do it sequentially. Bridges, tunnels, and station buildings are often built simultaneously. Assembly line prefabrication lets teams slot components together like building blocks. The result? Compress the full line construction schedule. For example, the Wenzhou-Fuzhou high-speed line was completed and entered system-wide testing within 7 years. But high-speed rail's real value isn't just in being built fast, it's what happens after. Once the line opens, money starts moving. 2-hour high-speed circles between cities spur industry, tourism, and logistics. Take Gutian County in Fujian. Edible mushroom producers can ship directly from a small county to national markets, creating an industry chain worth over 30 billion yuan a year. That economic return is why investment keeps rolling forward. High-speed rail is a modern Chinese calling card. It represents not only speed, but organizational capability, innovation, and long-term vision. By 2030, China aims for 60,000 kilometers of high-speed track, and maglev breakthroughs have reached test speeds above 650 kilometers per hour. Travel in the future will be even faster and cheaper. If you come to China, riding the high-speed rail is an absolute must.
It's about following what works, pragmatic. That was it about this video. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your continued love and support. This video wasn't about choosing sides, but it's about questioning what we are told. It's about seeing beyond judgment and ask ourselves questions. What kind of society do we really want to be? And do we want to base our judgment on biasness, or do we want to believe the truth? So if we can move past propaganda and prejudice in any direction, we might start seeing the truth for what it is really. Sometimes we isolate ourselves from those progressing so that we can feel better. But it shouldn't be about fear, but sometimes we should learn from what we fear. And if the progress of China scares you, that means you should make it your plan as well. You cannot make it as your resolution. I want to get there. Don't fear, confront so that you're able to compete, compete with strength. Yeah, compete with action. Yeah, that was it about this compilation. I hope it feels to you. Like the video for recommendations, subscribe if you're new here, share your thoughts in the comment section, and see you in the next video. Appreciate you.